Asher and Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
This is Pipeman here on the Adventures Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with
Cliff Regano, Dry Kill Logic.
Nice here at Aftershock.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, you're making rounds on the Danny Wimmer festivals, man. That's so cool.
Dude, we're just so grateful to be a part of all of this. We played this one, we played Rockville, we played Incarceration, and each one is just a master class in live events, so we're just stoked.
And they're all so different, too.
Yeah.
Like, the vibe is different. Like, I love Ink because it's at Shawshank Prison. That's, like, kind of insane.
Yep.
One year I was there. I was taking pictures. This other artist was taking pictures, and he's like, hey, can you take my picture? I'll take yours. Look at us. We're fanboying out on Shawshank Prison.
And seriously, and to put it at Ink, it's in a prison. At Rockville, it's in the infield of a race. It's like Daytona. Like, that's real experience for folks. And they've just got it so well mapped out that it's like, it's just wild to be a part of.
What I love here at Aftershock is it has all the trees, the vibe of it. Like, I've watched in previous years where people were like sitting in the trees watching it.
No shit,
set.
really? That's pretty awesome.
Right?
Yeah, that's super cool.
So, it's been like 20 years since you played Cali.
Yeah, wild, right? 20 years, man. Since 2000,
How does that happen?
Since 2006, we were touring on the second record, and we came off the road. Actually, 2005, as a matter of fact. In 2006, we came off the road in the U.S., wrote A Vengeance and Violence, and then we toured twice in Europe and once in Australia. We never toured again in the U.S. after we came off the road for The Dead and Dreaming. By 2007, we were kind of on hiatus, so it's like we've only been here on the second album for the first two, so like, it's crazy now, 20 years later, to come back and everybody's much more familiar with the music than they were the first time around.
It's kind of weird, too, right? Like, I see a trend of that happening, like Acid Bath, first time in 28 years, and like most of the people that are into them aren't even from 28 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's the other part, too. It's not necessarily people just coming back after 20 years. The audience is so varied. It's awesome. It's just so wild to witness. Because you definitely see folks who were there in the beginning, and then you see folks who clearly just of the age where they couldn't have been, and it's just so cool to see them all in the same crowd. So
yeah, and you know what I think's cool is you go back to like the 80s. I would have never, as a teenager, gone to see people my age in a band.
Right.
And certainly my dad was never going to take me to a metal show or any kind of rock show.
Truth.
But yet today you see parents, grandparents, kids, like every generation showing up at festivals like this. I think it's fucking cool.
It's really cool. And I noticed this. We're back. We start playing again, and now we rehearse. So we're in rehearsal studios, and we go to local bars to watch other bands, and it's really interesting because like you come here and you see the bands perform, and you look in the audience and you see an audience that's like totally resonating with the band of all ages. But then like now for us, we're in the studios and the bars, and we see the audience in their own bands playing and kind of emulating what they see, and like you're like, oh, you love metal, and like you go to the shows and you're in your own band and you write your own songs and you stand on that stage and you fucking live it the same way you take from the bands that are on there. But the part that's most exciting is that in those small bars and in those studios, the audience for those local bands are like their little brothers and little sisters, and they look up to them the same way that band looks up to the art.
Yeah.
And you see it. You can see this generational connection, to your point, where when a show comes to town, dad and your uncles and your kids all want to go because you all have this communal appreciation of it. I don't see that very often in many other genres of music with like singular artists that way.
Yeah,
you can make an argument, it happens, but it doesn't seem as prevalent as it does in metal.
That's why I have this idea. If we want to solve all the world's problems, we need to have one music festival for the whole world's required to attend, because we're all insiders here, and we're all united here, and we're one big family, and we have no problems here. And I think we could work it all out that way.
All your problems can be solved in the pit.
There it is.
Just get in the pit.
That's fully
Just work
my
it
belief.
out. You won't go come out of here aligned.
Exactly.
One way or the other, we're coming out of here aligned.
And I think people don't understand that's what the pit's all about. It's not about being violent. It's not about hurting and maiming people. It's actually about so you're not violent, hurting, maiming people on the outside.
Yeah.
When I have shit going on in my life, I go leave it all in the pit, and then 100%. I'm not kicking the shit out of somebody in real life.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, listen, you produce energy throughout a day. You got to let it out somehow. Yeah. Otherwise, it just becomes unproductive. And that's where the power of heavy music really starts to transcend just a genre, or it starts to change how you think about things. It has the power to do that. And that's the wildest part of it all, I think.
It's amazing. And you guys also have new music, right?
Yeah, we put out a song in May, Now You Belong with the Dead. It's our first single in 5 or 6 years. It was really well received, but I think now the time has come for us to write a record.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is our last show, and then we commence writing the next albums.
How do you feel the writing process is for you now compared to 20 years ago?
It's a great question. I think now we have the benefit of time.
Yes.
So we can be thoughtful about, do we like this? Do we not like this? If yes, why? If no, why? And we can spend time focusing on the songs and standing in service of the songs, where previously it's like you got 4 months,
right?
Crack out a record, so you'll go in and write a bunch of guitar riffs. You'll go in and write a bunch of drums to them. I'll come back with some lyrics and some patterns, and let's just go to the studio. And you never really do the diligence to be like, have we landed it? Could it be better? And I always feel like, at least I can only speak for me, but like when I'll go back over time and I'll listen to lyrics, I'll be like, yeah, that could have been better. I could have nailed that one.
Right.
So, but again, now I think having the time and being able to put in the rigor to that part is probably the biggest difference between now and then. But we're all older now too. that plays a part.
Well, and I also think COVID played a part. I've said for a while that what COVID did for artists is allowed them to jump off the hamster wheel that you're talking about. It's like, go tour, write songs on the bus. You have to submit it by a certain time. It's not really finished, but it has to be.
Yeah.
Whereas COVID allowed artists to stop and think of how they really wanted their music to sound.
Right. Truth.
And that's what you're getting to do now. And and it is part of being older that is the benefit, because you think a little differently and you take a little more control of your art.
That's truth. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You said it quite well. At the end of the day, I think now we're not necessarily going to out-energy our younger selves, right? I think that's probably impossible. But we could spend a little bit more time out-thinking our younger selves and putting that into the rigor of songwriting and performance. And that's been exciting when we think about live shows or we think about new music. We never really thought about it as, well, how can we be like the best performers ever? We just thought about, like, get on stage and smash. And now it's just a different approach.
I love
Largely because we're so goddamn old, everything hurts.
And maybe that is why kids today are appreciating the older bands, because like when we were younger, most of the bands kind of sucked. Like, especially in like the punk arena, because, and bands I love, but it's like, why did you become a punk musician? Because you didn't know how to play an instrument.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, well, listen, to that point, like we used to laugh because our Bible was Get in the Van from Henry Rollins, and we used to laugh all the time. We'd just be like, fucking Rollins would play the show. Rollins would get in the van. You get in the van. It's funny because that ethos, to your point, was like the driving factor. It was the spirit of the thing that kept you moving. And maybe that's, to your point, maybe that's part of the appeal of living in a time when that could be the sole driver of your destiny, was just get in the fucking van.
Right.
So,
and then now that you're older, it's like, I've learned how to actually do this.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, right. No, it's true. You're right.
It is.
You're right.
Anything else you want to let the listeners know that we haven't covered already?
We're going to start writing this record. I'll tell you the title. Drum roll. Your Sins Will Find You.
They find me all the freaking
exactly.
time, man.
Yeah, you can't run from them. We don't have a release date or anything like that yet. And then we're going to be releasing some new tour dates pretty soon for 2026. We're going to be doing more headline shows. So we've got some stuff coming up. It's called the Decades of Distance Tour. And it's going to be like dates spread out through the U.S. Places we haven't been in 20 years. Just come back, play some awesome shows, play some songs folks haven't seen, just have a good time.
I love it.
Good time, so.
Well, I love that you're here at Aftershock, and thanks for being on the Adventures
Thank you for having me, fella. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.